Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy Strong Style. This is in a file. So we got a full-on teaser trailer for the Doctor Strange sequel during the Super Bowl. So let's geek about it for a scant few minutes. Now, it was interesting. Now we see that there's fallout in this from Doctor Strange's actions in the previous Spider-Man movie. Opens up the door to the multiverse and all those shenanigans. And I'm just assuming at this point, just understood that while the build-up for the first set of Marvel films, of course, led to the Infinity Saga, Thanos, and all that kind of stuff that spilled over into multiple movies. Now I'm thinking that the multiverse is the thing that's going to spill into multiple movies and have far-reaching implications, and thus bring our heroes together ultimately for what will ever be the Infinity War sequel team-up thing that's going to happen in these movies. I like the multiverse for kind of what it can do for the MCU, and it can allow them to revisit characters such as Cap and Iron Man and Thor, those kind of the heavy hitters that people will kind of need to kind of stay interested in. Because I know there are some people out there that kind of, as they're moving to these new phases, they're they're losing some of those people who are in it for Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. Granted, they'd be played by other actors, but that could open up some fun things. Like the rumor is that Tom Cruise, who of course we know Marvel initially wanted to play Tony Stark years upon years ago, he passed on it, and then it got Downey. It turned out to be picture perfect casting. But there's rumors that he is playing a variant of Tony Stark, which would be cool, full circle, even if it's just a brief couple second cameo or something, just to bring that thing full circle, I think would be fun. The idea that you can use the multiverse to kind of introduce the MCU proper to the Fantastic Four, if you want to go that route, to the X-Men, the whole thing with mutants. If you want to do the Inhumans correctly and not like that crappy TV show that they had, maybe you could do that. It just opens up a world of possibilities. And like I said, you can revisit favorites who are, not going to be played by the same actors again. So it kind of remains to be seen kind of what Doctor Strange has to go through in this. We've seen America Chavez. She's going to be in it. Apparently, I read some report where she's going to be on the run because she has powers that can open up doorways between the realities, the multiverse. So that'd be interesting. We've got Scarlet Witch in it, and it was kind of interesting, her point that she made in the trailer that she messes with things, she's labeled a villain. Doctor Strange messes with reality and stuff, and he's still a hero. So is there going to be some conflict, some friction between those two, or is this a famous Marvel misdirect in the trailers? Because we know they do that too. I'm in it. I enjoyed Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. It wasn't one of my favorite movies. I thought the first movie, while it was good, it was kind of your standard fare, formulaic origin movie. I was more interested in kind of where they were going to take Mordo, where he went at the end of the series, or at the end of the movie, and kind of where he was going to go in a sequel. Now we see that he's kind of after Doctor Strange for the shenanigans that he pulled. We see he's going to face some sort of tribunal with a guy who our ears are telling us there's going to be Professor X, a Patrick Stewart Professor X presence in there. We saw the robots that led him up there. They were kind of Ultron-esque. So again, it's just the implications and just the what-if sort of nature that the multiverse gives us. There's rumors that Haley Atwell is going to be portraying a Captain Carter in it. Of course, we have Captain Carter in the What If cartoon, action figure form. I am in some comic books as well. She's getting, I think, a new mini-series. But to see her like live action on the big screen as Captain Carter would be I'm a huge Haley Atwell fan, so that would be phenomenal to me. And just like I said, just the other stuff that they could do with the multiverse. It's fun and it's exciting, and it can kind of shake up the status quo and give us some cool situations, some cool characters and stuff to kind of really hopefully get away from maybe some of the formulaic nature of the Marvel movies. The only thing I kind of worry about is just, which I kind of worried about with Spider-Man and his movies, in the fact that the MCU, while good, the interconnectedness of the movies is good. I like it, but are we becoming too dependent on it, where we can't have a character just be himself with his conflict, with his villains, by himself. That was my issue with the Marvel movies with Spider-Man, because it felt like, because you had Iron Man in the first one, you had Nick Fury and such in the second one, then you have Doctor Strange in the third one. So it feels like, to me, Marvel and Sony don't think that Spider-Man can carry his own movie. And I don't want that going forward, because here we are, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has the implications of the multiverse, and he has the Scarlet Witch in it. So do they think that he cannot hold his own movie? It's like, the sequel seemed to be setting up Doctor Strange and coming eventually to have a conflict with Mordo. So do they not think that that could be a strong enough movie on its own? You know, and that's the only thing about it, is because you become too dependent upon just all this other stuff to kind of prop up the movie, because it's not strong enough on its own, or it just appears that way. So that's my only concern about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm here for all the fan service and crossover madness that they can bring to us. I'll be there, you know, opening night for this, because I'm curious to see how it shakes out and the implications going forth for the multiverse. Are there going to be any teasers to other characters, the Fantastic Four? Because I'm just waiting for just any sort of news on the Fantastic Four and filming and casting, especially because that is my all-time favorite comic book. It's the first comic book that I remember. I know it's not my first comic book that I got, but it's the first one that I really remember collecting. And The Thing is my favorite Marvel superhero, so I'm anxious to see him done by the MCU, because they get so many things right, you know. So I'm anxious to see what they do with the Fantastic Four. I can't wait. But Doctor Strange 2, yeah, it's going to be here before we know it, and it looks to be a conversation starter at the very least. Remains to be seen how it plays out, but anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it, on the multiverse in general, scattered as they often are. But you guys out there think, let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media, talk to me there, talk to me here. Until next time, and this weekend, MPX Texas Rumble. Be there in person, check it out on the network. See me doing what I do, go places, kick faces. What I do so well. Let us geek.